Welcome to the Central PA Property Talk Podcast, brought to you by 717 Homebuyers, your local team helping folks across Lancaster, York, Harrisburg, and beyond sell their homes quickly and stress-free. I'm Brian.
And I'm Chris. Glad you're here with us. Today we're talking about something we see all the time, when your house needs some work and you're waiting for that perfect buyer to come along.
Right.
Only to find out waiting can actually cost you more. You know, Brian, I was looking at some of the latest numbers from Redfin. Pennsylvania home prices are actually up a bit, around 3.7% year over year.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. The number of homes for sale jumped over 8%. That means buyers have choices again.
Exactly.
And here's what's really interesting about those numbers. When we break it down by property condition, the gap becomes even more dramatic. Move-in ready homes are still selling within 30 days on average, but anything needing significant work, we're looking at 90 plus days, sometimes longer.
That's such a crucial point. And it's not just about the time, it's about the psychology of buyers today. With interest rates where they are, people are being extra cautious with their home purchases. They want something they can move into without having to immediately sink another $20,000 or $30,000 into repairs.
Absolutely. And let's be honest about something else. The inspection process has gotten way more thorough since COVID. Buyers are bringing in specialists for everything: radon testing, mold inspection, HVAC evaluations. Even minor issues that would have been overlooked 5 years ago are now deal breakers. They're pickier. They don't want to deal with repairs, old wiring, or that musty basement smell.
Right. Homes that need work are sitting longer. Folks think, oh, the market's still hot. But in reality, the demand's cooled for anything less than move-in ready. Let's break it down. If your house needs a roof or new paint or has that half-finished project in the garage your buddy started, oh yeah, you're not just waiting, you're paying. Mortgage, property taxes, utilities, insurance. Every month it sits, it's money out of your pocket.
That's right. Here's a situation similar to what we often see. We worked with a homeowner named Cody over in Lebanon. Nice guy, had a house built back in '87. Roof was shot, some mold in the basement, and electrical work half done. He thought he'd list it and see what happens. After 3 months, a couple price drops, and $6,000 in repairs, he realized he could have just called us, closed in 2 weeks, and been done with it.
And what's worse, during those 3 months, the longer his house sat on the market, the more stigmatized it became. You know how it is. Buyers start wondering what's wrong with this place that no one else wanted it. It becomes a psychological barrier on top of the actual repair issues. Yeah, we see this pattern a lot. We frequently encounter situations like this one from Lidditz. Beautiful 1920s house, but the original plumbing was still in there, knob and tube wiring.
Oh no!
The owner had it on the market for 5 months. Every buyer walked away after the inspection. She was spending $2,800 a month carrying costs while it sat empty. You know, that reminds me of another situation we handled in Hanover. This was a beautiful Victorian home, gorgeous curb appeal, but the previous owner had started renovating the kitchen and never finished it. Cabinets were half installed, there was no flooring, exposed electrical work. The family had inherited it and just felt overwhelmed. Oh, wow. Unfinished renovations are the worst. Buyers see that and immediately think, how much is this going to cost me to fix properly? Even if the work that's done is quality, they're scared of what they might uncover once they start finishing the project.
Exactly. The family got 3 different contractor quotes to finish the work. They ranged from $18,000 to $35,000. Meanwhile, they were paying $1,400 a month just to maintain the property. They realized that even if they invested the money to finish the kitchen, there was no guarantee they'd get that back in the sale price, especially in that neighborhood.
That's such an important point about neighborhood values. And here's something else people don't always consider: seasonal factors. If your house needs work and you're heading into winter, you're looking at potentially the worst time to sell. Buyers don't want to move during the holidays. They can't see the yard. They're worried about heating costs.
Right, and we see this especially with people who've moved to a new house already. They're carrying 2 mortgages, double insurance, double utilities. Every month that old house sits empty, that's real money.
sometimes $3,000 to $4,000 a month in Central PA, depending on the property taxes and mortgage situation. And then there's a common situation that comes up, like this Mechanicsburg scenario. Family inheritance, asbestos tiles, septic issues, needed a full clean out.
Right, that was a tough one.
The family was overwhelmed, didn't even know where to start. By the time they called us, they'd already been dealing with it for 8 months.
I think it helps to have a decision framework. If you're sitting there wondering whether to fix up your house or sell it as is, here are the key questions. Can you afford to carry the property for 6 to 12 months? Will the repairs actually add value in your specific neighborhood? And honestly, do you have the time and energy to manage contractors and deal with the stress?
That third point is huge. Managing renovations is like a part-time job, especially when you're talking about major systems, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. You're coordinating schedules, dealing with permits, hoping the work gets done right. And if you're not local or you've already moved, it becomes even more challenging to oversee everything properly.
Exactly. A lot of people hear cash buyer and picture one of those out-of-state companies, but 717 Home Buyers is right here in Central PA, local folks with real roots.
That's the difference. We know these neighborhoods, from Lancaster to York, Lebanon to Reading. We buy as is, handle the paperwork, and let you pick your closing date.
And this is where local knowledge really makes a difference. We're not just buying houses, we understand the specific challenges in each area. Like, we know that houses in certain parts of Lancaster have foundation issues because of the soil composition. We know about the flood zones in York County. We know which neighborhoods have the older electrical systems that scare off traditional buyers.
It's that peace of mind factor that people really appreciate. No showings to prep for every weekend, no wondering if the buyer's financing will fall through at the last minute, no negotiating over every little repair that comes up during inspection. You get one offer, one decision to make, and then it's handled. And here's something else worth considering. If you're thinking about selling anyway, don't wait for the perfect market conditions. We've seen people hold on to properties for years waiting for prices to go back to 2021 levels, but meanwhile, they're losing money every month on maintenance, taxes, and opportunity costs. No commissions, no open houses, no waiting on financing, just a fair offer and a clean slate. So what's the takeaway? In a market where inventory is rising, waiting for that perfect buyer can actually cost you more than selling fast. Exactly. Time on market isn't just a number, it's lost money, lost weekends, and a lot of stress. And if you're sitting on a property that needs some TLC, we'll look at it, make a fair offer, and handle the rest.
You can check us out at 717homebuyers.com or give us a call anytime at 717-321-SOLD. We're local, we're fair, and we'll shoot you straight.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Central PA Property Talk podcast.
We'll be back soon with more down-to-earth talk about real estate right here in Central PA.
Until then, take care of your homes, take care of each other, and we'll catch you next time.